Same thing with Stallone with Rambo. They're both irreplaceable. There's only one person can play that role.
Yep.
Crenna is Trotman.
Yep.
You remember that video I did paying tribute to Richard Crenna, where Crenna talked about Trotman a little bit? Did you see that video?
Oh, when he's got the when he's doing the interview outside.
Something like that. I showed some photos of him and his voiceover. He was doing an interview, and I showed some photos, and he was talking about Hot Shots Part 2, and I featured the poster of Hot Shots Part 2 on the video when he was talking about it. And after that, I made it look like we were at Trotman's funeral with the tap music.
Oh yeah, I think I seen that, but it was like a long time ago. Hold on, I'm just gonna look. I'll look for it.
Rambo Crenna on Trotman. I think that was what it was called.
We're gonna be doing Hot Shots Part 3 in a couple of months.
That's in the pop culture, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oops. And we're gonna also be doing like Gizmo. Ah!
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
oh yeah. We gotta do that. We gotta do that. I got a kick out of that.
yeah, me too. It's asking me to sign in. That's loud.
You know, we should mention in the pop culture when we get to pop culture, we should mention the Weird Al Yankovic spoof on Rambo with in UHF.
Yep, that's gonna be in there also, because I think those all came out around the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah. The computer's acting all messed up. Come on.
So, when you got caught off the first time, what were you mentioning about Full Metal Jacket? I mentioned how it evolved. How it was about the men evolving from men to killing machines.
Yeah, because that's how it was back then. You know, like I won't say brainwashed, but you know, a lot of people who went over there came back and they were never the same. You know, like obviously that's gonna do something to someone, and to kind of like strip them down and you know, manipulate. You know, so it's like I feel for those people because you know it's like that's irreversible. They will never, you know, never be the same after that. You know?
And that kind, and the way they were trained in that movie, how they were treated, how they were trained, how the drill instructor trained them. It was like what you mentioned. It was like kind of gave you a clue of how Rambo was trained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm sorry, what were you about to say?
Oh no. Go for it. Go for it.
But what was interesting about it, what made it different was it wasn't really that sad. It was a movie that involved a lot of dark humor in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what you were saying about how this movie showed how they became emotionless killing machines,
mm-hmm.
and how they
But I could see, like, you know, like when they would come home and they couldn't really react the same way as they could over there. You know, like, pretty much I would guess that over there they had free reign. And coming back, I guess, you know, to laws and to people younger than them, looking down at them, saying, you know, like, oh, you know, the authority and all that kind of stuff. I can see maybe where they would have trouble with that. I can't find the video. Do you have a separate account?
No.
Okay. I'll check for it later.
Well, you know what? I think that's humor was the only thing that got them through the madness. They all they did was joke around and doing some dark humor. You know, I think when they came home, they didn't get affected by the war because they kept their humor about. So I think there were actually real life veterans who didn't get really affected by the war because they kept their humor.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, in some cases, like,
exactly.
You know,
yeah.
Some cases people were really messed up after that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I could definitely see where that kicks into it. You know, I won't get into it too much, but like I had a really rough upbringing, and humor actually helped me through that. So being able to laugh at myself and, you know, laugh at other things. So
it's working for you.
yeah, like my girlfriend comes to like family functions, and she hears all these stories, and she's like freaked out, you know. And she's like, "How did you guys go through that?" You know, and it's just like, well, we laugh about it, we talk about it like it's like, oh, remember the time we blah 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 blah, and yeah. So she's like, man, that's messed up. Oh boy, yeah.
Well, I just said about Sarah Butler. We should get her as Blair. She's perfect, man.
She would be good. She would be good. She can go toe to toe, you know?
Oh yeah. Like I said, the way how she was troubled and how she got traumatized, it definitely reminded me of how Blair is. When I was watching I Spit on Your Grave while she was torturing those guys, I felt like how she was like shaking and twitching a lot. I felt like that was Blair killing those people.
Yeah, because Blair definitely comes from a background that's shaken. You know what I mean? Like, she definitely comes from a place that's darker than what she lets on to believe that to other people that it is. You know.
But I don't want to make her like too deep, seriously dark, because she does have, like in Full Metal Jacket, she does handle it with humor.
Yeah.
So, because like I said, this is a comedy, so I want her to handle her problems with humor, in Full Metal like with Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, and there's definitely going to be, what's the word I want to use?
Dark humor.
Dark humor. You know, but she's still got a really innocent side, like an innocent quality to her at the same time. What I think is really cool about it is, for the first bit, Max can't figure her out. So we can already tell that she's really strong. Because Max, being psychic, can't get in there all the way, you know? So, I think that's really a cool twist of it to add, like that. She's like, I would say, more evolved, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, you know that was interesting. You brought up how she has a little innocence, because when I was watching I Spit on Your Grave, when Sarah Butler, where she killed the last guy, and the guy with a shotgun up his ass, and and he says, I'm an innocent family man," and then she says that line, "So was I."
Yeah.
That was like, it kind of showed, it kind of mirrored, it was like how I mentioned that was how that would have been Blair, and I Spit on Your Grave. It kind of showed that character was kind of like the opposite, more darker side of Blair, how she lost her innocence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We could go even darker with the sequel. You know, we could save some of that for the sequel. We could just tease it and then bring more of it out later. That would be even crazy. That would be crazier too. You know.
Yeah, and going back to what I was saying, how she was like her character of Jennifer was like the opposite of Blair. That's another reason why I want her to play Blair in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she would be a good choice.
Absolutely.
We just gotta find out how to get a hold of her.
Oh, she's on Twitter.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
And she's on Facebook as well, but she mostly talks on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
She was just on a podcast show this weekend. I saw on YouTube. She was on a podcast show, and it was on YouTube this past week. So maybe when we get Mickey and Mike, those other people, we can get her on, and while we talk about the treatment of supporting Rambo, what we're trying to do, we could get everyone together, talk about our treatment for supporting Rambo.
We could definitely do that.
Yeah.
We could definitely do that. That would be amazing to have her come on and and give her input, and just to pretty much bring her into that universe, like the story, like discussing the story and everything at the same time. That would be an amazing idea. We should definitely have her on for that.
I'm up for it now.
You should contact her on Twitter. Like, I don't have Twitter. I had a Twitter. I just don't know how to use Twitter. I can't follow fuck all on Twitter. So, you should do the Twitter one.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe Facebook, but she hasn't posted a lot of stuff since 2013, so I'm gonna stick with Twitter.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that guy won the Bigfoot bounty. Someone won the 10 million. Stacy Brown Jr., who I've been following a lot of this other Brown family, non-related, this other family, how they have like Bigfoots on their property and stuff. This guy won the 10 million, so he brought in something. He brought in something, man. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna write to him and find out. He must be having a great time right now. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, like researching all that stuff for Mossman. I was thinking about maybe doing do the first Mossman, about the Mossman. I was thinking about maybe shooting 2 and 3 back to back for half the budget. And doing what do you call that? Like looking for a Mossman, like a female Mossman. But at the same time we come across a Sasquatch. So we get to fight both. And then the third part, since it's being shot back to back like a double feature, the third part will begin with the escalation of the second one left off. And then we'll throw an alien in there too. So it'll be like a monster movie, like we fight them, they all fight each other.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And maybe do like a web series after with like different monsters or something, I don't know.